The clip that stopped me in my tracks wasn't a romantic confession or a big twist. It was a father quietly telling his daughter, "You don't have to go back to that life if it's hurting you." No yelling, no guilt, just support. And I thought to myself, wait, this isn't your typical Korean drama. I almost didn't watch When Life Gives You Tangerines. The clip I saw made it look too emotional, too raw, and honestly, I didn't think I was ready for that kind of story. But what I discovered was something even deeper. This drama doesn't just make you cry, it makes you reflect. It heals in ways you don't expect. Hey everyone, welcome back to Amazing Night, your place for deep dives, reviews, and all things Asian drama. When I first came across clips from this drama, what struck me immediately was how emotional it felt. Especially the moments where the female lead's family stood firmly by her, not just in words but also in action. Her father telling her husband to support her no matter what. Her mother holding her while she broke down, and most surprisingly, the son-in-law not being the villain but quietly taking his wife's side, even when it meant tension with his own family. It felt too real, too close, and I wasn't sure if I had the space for that kind of vulnerability. But I'm glad I gave it a chance. When Life Gives You Tangerines tells the story of Ha-yeon, a high-powered Seoul marketing executive who suffers a breakdown on national television. Forced to take a break, she returns to her childhood home on Jeju Island, a tangerine orchard run by her estranged grandmother. Back in the countryside, she meets Seo-jun, a local carpenter with his own reasons for escaping the city life. As Ha-yeon struggles to reconnect with her roots, face long-buried trauma, and make peace with her past, a quiet love begins to grow. Not just between her and Seo-jun, but between her and herself. This isn't a drama about dramatic twists or love triangles. It's about life, grief, silence, support, and slow healing. In episode 4, Ha-yeon breaks down in front of her parents after trying to explain why she can't go back to Seoul. What makes this scene unforgettable is how her father simply listens to her. No lectures, no disappointment, just a quiet, "We are proud of you," and an understanding nod. Her mother sits beside her and says, "You don't need to be strong here." That scene alone changed my mind about the drama. It's rare in Korean dramas to see parental support shown with this kind of emotional clarity. In episode 6, Ha-yeon's husband is confronted by his mother, who disapproves of Ha-yeon's decision to stay in Jeju. Instead of agreeing, he tells her, "I didn't marry a resume, I married a person." That line, so quiet yet so powerful, marked a shift not just in their marriage but in how Korean dramas portray male characters and family dynamics. One of the most beautifully shot moments comes in episode 8, where a flashback reveals young Ha-yeon and Seo-jun as teens making a promise under a blooming tangerine tree. It's not dramatic, it's not even romantic in the typical sense, but it's so filled with innocence and longing that it redefines what love can look like: subtle, quiet, and full of hope. In episode 10, Ha-yeon's grandmother talks about the orchard and what it meant to her after her husband died. "You plant a tree and wait years for fruit, but the waiting is what keeps you alive." That single line hit me hard. It's not just about farming, it's about life, healing, and how growth takes time. This drama isn't flashy. There are no big cliffhangers or over-the-top villains, but what makes it unforgettable is its emotional honesty. It portrays mental health without romanticizing or dramatizing it. It shows love, romantic, familiar, and self-love in ways that feel deeply human. And it gives space for grief, something that many dramas rush past or gloss over. If you've ever felt burnout, lost, or like you were pretending to be okay, When Life Gives You Tangerines will speak to you. I've seen countless comments saying things like, "This drama made me call my parents," or "I cried like I was the one being comforted," and I felt the same way. Let me know in the comments. Was there a scene that hit you the hardest? Was it the orchard, the silent dinners, or that final letter in the last episode? I really want to hear your take on this. That's all for now. Stay tuned for more long form videos coming out this week. Thank you all for watching. See you next time.